out there. And again, I want to stress that this is not for me a black or white thing.
Correct.
It's a right or a wrong thing.
Correct.
Okay, the facts are what they are. If you have a comment, a question, or a concern, give us a call, 915-5202. But I can tell you, going back to the Michael Brown situation and the Sean Bell and the Amadou Diallo and the Trayvon Martins, one of the things that I can say infuriated me as a mother is, okay, if you and I are on our job and we have any form of misconduct and we're put on leave, we're put on unpaid leave.
Unpaid leave.
Okay?
Exactly.
I'm trying to understand how you murder someone's child and you get paid for it while they figure this out.
You know, the thing about it, and also with that, it always seems that it's justifiable.
Right.
Why they pulled the trigger.
Right.
You know, and I don't understand it. I mean, nobody knows what happens most of the time in those type of cases because the person that's deceased and the person that pulled the trigger, they're the only people that really know what really happened. All right. It takes other folks from, quote, the living to kind of justify what they did or prove what they did was right. You know, and the dead can't speak, unfortunately.
And true. And not only that, we talked about this, I talked about this last week, is the fact that when situations such like this happen, we always try to justify it. Well, not we, but media and the police officers and everybody try to justify it by coming up with another crime. Trayvon Martin was acting suspiciously and walking around. Michael Brown just robbed 50 cigarillos from the corner store. Perfect example, the other day, me and my husband, we were watching, someone has sent a film that's circling around on Facebook, and it was the young man who got killed last Tuesday. He really did steal a honey bun and an orange soda from the store. And you see the shopkeeper chase him outside. And he was like, man, forget this. And he puts the soda and the honey bun down on the curb and he keeps walking. And you see the police come up and the police get out and they blasted this guy. Now, he wasn't armed. He wasn't, you know, like aggressively coming at her. And then my question is, what happened to tasers? Because I remember at one time everybody was getting tased, and now we are like shoot to kill. Are we becoming the next extinct animal?
You know, if you look at what they say as far as statistics go, everyone that you read off in that paper was probably in their 20s to 35. Okay. That's the new life expectancy of African American males. Whether it's from murder, whether it's from disease, or just problems, health problems. So you put that in perspective of what you're saying. If we're the new hunted, what do you really believe, or what can you really believe, or what do you think about your own life? You know, unfortunately, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, I try to tell the young guys, even the guys my age, just stay out the way. Do your best to stay out of the way.
But is staying out of your way, and I want to table that for a minute because that's going to lead into our next point. But I wanted to read you. I was reading a magazine the other day, and there was a group that are asking for mandatory minimum penalties for like police officers and people who murder unarmed people. And the thing that blew me away is when it says that the men who killed these men, with the exception of Michael Brown, because that hasn't come up yet, but we're hoping it doesn't play out like Trayvon Martin, all of their murderers walked away free. But there is over 1 million nonviolent offenders nationwide that are incarcerated in the prison system.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
Child support, driver's license, drugs, I mean, the whole nine. When I was working in DOC, you know, we had some people in there that were drug users, all right? But there was really nothing like a malicious crime. These guys didn't commit murder that we knew of, okay? But they were doing bids of 7 years, 8 years. And I'm thinking to myself, you're getting locked up for that? Okay, and you have people that commit murder, that drink and drive and kill folks. And you have attorneys that try to put more time into getting these folks off. And it's obvious
it's
that they committed murder.
It's obvious.
Malicious wounding.
And I think, and I'm so glad that you went there, because that leads me into my next point. I am big on history. Anybody that's been fans of the show, they know I've talked about how my mom and my stepdad made it mandatory that we had to go to the African American Library. We had to know our history. So I wanted to share, and not to insult anybody, but I wanted to share a little bit of history with you, because there is his story. Okay.
Correct.
And I wanted to share that. And I wrote it down and stuff. And I said, to understand the justice system, you must first know your history. You must understand that in this country we call America, it will always be just us, not justice. You must understand that the law of this land, including the Constitution, never included us. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States. Now, those are beautiful words. Yet they're empty. This preamble to this document that governs this land was written at the height of slavery. More than half of its creators were slave owners. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, they openly talked against slavery, yet they only all freed their slaves at their death. My point is that America